Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Adrian's Digital Basement 2. Yep, another second channel video. On today's video, we're going to be looking at something TV related. And here it is. Look at that. What this is a Sony KV9400, and it's manufactured in May of 1992. So what we have here is a little Sony Trinitron television, 9 inches in size, really cute, very boxy styling, and of course, being a Sony, built really well. I have no idea if this thing works. Let's just take a quick look around it. On the right side here, we have some controls: hue, color, brightness, and auto. I assume this is like an auto color, on and off. TV's a little worse for wear, it's a little scratched up here and there, but considering the age, I'm pretty shocked actually it's in decent shape. On the back here we have UHF, VHF, and a switch for rod antenna or external antenna. And nice, Sony was great. There's like little nuts on here as opposed to screws, so you can easily hand tighten any kind of connections you have for this. We have the original antenna with the red or orange little tip, and it is still in great shape, so I'm assuming this antenna was probably not really ever used. It was probably always connected to some kind of an external antenna. The power lead here is still on the original holder here. Looks nice. V-hold control, V-center, there's a screen control. We have B, G, and R blanking, or probably the, what's it called? The bias control. So it's not the drive, it's the opposite. It sort of controls the black levels. And we have a sticker here that does show that's where I got the date manufactured here, May 1982. Serial number 824500. Trinitron color TV receiver, 120 volts, 60 hertz, average of 57 watts, and of course, made in Japan. On this side of the TV, we don't really have anything, so to speak. I don't know where the speaker is. I think it was on the other side, probably in the center of the grill. There is this little thing right here, this little black thing. What that is, if I turn this around, there are numbers above the screen here for the channel selector. And if I pull this out, these are the channels. So you could, it probably came with a little, the manual originally came with these little channel things here. So 2, 7, 4, 5, 13. You would arrange them in this strip however you wanted to. You could take them out, move them around. It looks like they're all in here actually. Wait, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I don't think they gave you any of the UHF ones, but if anyone knows or remembers having a TV like this, let me know. There are 2 little asterisks here. And the thing about this, if you're unfamiliar with the way these types of tuners work in TVs like this, it was pretty cool for its time. Now, if I tilt this down, you'll see here that these are the channel selection buttons, and they line up to the numbers that you would stick on the front. So like there was a 2 there, so you push this button for 2, 4, 5, etc., etc. But you're probably wondering, like, how do these buttons get associated with the numbers that are in there? Well, if I lift up this door here, each channel button here has a little tuner knob right here and a little switch there to select the band. And there are 3 bands, 2 through 6, 7 through 13, and then UHF 14 through 83. So you set the switch to the appropriate setting for the right band. So if you want channel 2, you set it to the red selection, and then there's a knob right here in the top, and you just turn that, and that fine tunes this individual channel button right here to the channel you want. You could have 2 channels on the same RF frequency if you wanted, but what happens is inside the TV, the tuner is voltage controlled, and each one of these adjusts an exact voltage, very precise, and that sends it to the tuner, and that tunes in the channel. It gives you a little instruction here on how to do it, so just, you know, says blah, blah, blah. You can also set the AFT switch. So this thing right here, up or down for automatic fine tuning. And when you close the door, it pushes in the little tab here, pushes into a hole there, which activates a switch, which turns on the fine tuning, which would be recommended. I'm not sure why anyone would ever not want to use the automatic fine tuning, but it was nice that that was an option to turn off and on. In addition, on the top of the TV here is the power switch. Actually feels really quite cool when you push it in, nice feel to it. We have a picture control, so that would be like the contrast on other TVs. Brightness on a Sony TV is like the black level. If you turn that up, it'll make the blacks look a little gray. And then the brightness, or I'm sorry, the picture is like the contrast. It adjusts the white level on this TV. And then we have volume. And I'm sure these are very scratchy, minimum to maximum. They probably have a lot of dust in them. Oh, and there's the speaker right here on the top. And also, if I put this back down, there is a convenient carry handle. And the TV is pretty heavy. It's pretty well made, but the handle is pretty cool. It just falls back down. It's flush. The whole thing is really cool. This plastic piece on the front does come off for cleaning. It's pretty clean, but it does have some scratches in it. But of course, that would be possible to fix up because it is just plastic. It's not glass or anything like that. So really, I want to know is, does this television actually work? So I think, let's see, the brightness control is set in the middle. That's a good sign that it's not worn out. And something on the picture control, I don't know what that was set to. Someone's probably fiddled with that. But ultimately, I'm probably believing that this TV is going to work fine. TVs like this were typically used in, say, a bedroom or maybe in the kitchen. In fact, I'm pretty sure this exact television was in the movie Poltergeist in the kitchen in that movie. I'm gonna have to check a still frame from that, and if I do find it, I'll insert it here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this little Sony was used in the kitchen. So I think that was a pretty typical use case for this little 9-inch television, which means it was never used like incredible amount of hours, unlike a TV, say, in the living room where you'd have it on from 6 p.m. until midnight every single day of the week and all day on weekends, as if people were watching movies and the news and stuff like that. This would be just turned on while you were watching, while you were eating your meals, for instance, or cooking, for instance. All right, to connect this up to something modern, unfortunately, it doesn't have like a video input on it. It has RF inputs. I'm gonna have to use this, which it converts from the 75 ohm F connector we use here in North America to this 300 ohm RF signal. And VHF is on the bottom. So we'll just screw this in here. Oops. Oh, these are actually like banana jacks, like mini banana jacks almost. And the funny thing is it's actually a little bit wider than these, so I have to stick it through the center hole. There's a little center hole on each one. No problem, that will do the trick. Oh, no, that just came right off super easily. Yeah, these aren't, I was praising these for being so cool, but the reality is these are actually better for bare wire. Okay, that's holding on okay though. So you just gotta tighten it enough that it doesn't come out there. Oh, come on, really? There we go. Nope, still loose. We'll undo this power cord. It's the old same brown power cord that Sony used on all of their televisions in North America. When I was growing up, we had a Sony, it was a 19-inch TV, and it was from 1978 or so, and it had this exact same power cord on it. Well, at least as far as I remember, it's even Sony branded right there in the molding. I have a connection from a VCR that's sitting right here. And that is actually going to be showing a test signal of that color bar as you see on the screen back there. It's the same exact picture. It's coming from my pattern generator. So it will be on channel 3, most likely for the TV. So hook that up like so. Turn this around. Make sure the power switch is off, and it is. And I'll plug this in like so. And here we go. Channel 3 is over here, but I may have to tune it if this thing does work, or does it blow up? Let's see what's gonna happen. Oh, high voltage is working. Great sign. Of course it works. It's a Sony. They would have had that sticker. It's a Sony. All right, look at that. There's already picture. And actually the picture control is all the way down on the front here. So let's see, are these buttons even working? You know what? Okay, there's something going on here with the tuner. It's a little hard to see. Looks like it's on 13. Sort of definitely a loose connection. Okay, there, now the 13 is lit up. So something's going on up in this upper area here. Since 13, oh, no, that's not working. Do any of these buttons work? You know, these buttons aren't really responding. And actually, it's weird because when you push them down, they don't really feel like they're pushing down at all. But let's see if I can just adjust. I'm going to adjust this 13 here to be channel 3. All right, I'm starting to see a picture there. Come on. So there's color bars starting to come in. Oh, you know what? I might have that switch in the wrong setting on the back. Oh, wait, look at that. Look at that. Okay, stop it. It's working. All right, so the picture control's all the way down. Okay, this, I'm gonna have to open this up and see if I can fix this control. Maybe some deoxit. Come on, stop fiddling around. So on the side, we got color. Oh, it's too bad about this flickering. All right, this is the tint control. It was turned all the way to one side. Come on, stop flickering. All right, there's tint. Color control, definitely needs some deoxit in there. And this one is brightness. Well, the television is obviously working great. Sound, I don't have any sound actually. There's no sound hooked up, but I'm just hearing a little bit of static as the picture comes in and out. Unfortunately, these controls are not working well, but the picture, when it is showing up, if I put my finger down on this, it sort of stays. The picture looks good. I mean, I don't really have a lot to complain about. Let's switch this to something else. So there's Matrix. Yeah, I mean, looking good. The color reproduction is good. It's not blown out. I mean, this is a good CRT. No problems there. So I think what I need to do is open this up, see if I can figure out why these tuner buttons are not working. I wonder if something got dropped on here. Maybe it pushed on these so much that they're all pushed simultaneously. I don't know. The 13 light sort of flickers on and off. If I hit it, it sort of works. That is definitely a problem in the tuner. But look at that. Of course this works. Of course it does. Oh, I didn't even notice here. Typical Sony. It's got the headphone jacks, 2 headphone jacks on the front. Even our 19-inch TV growing up had this. And it was a large TV, like you would never sit close to it. This TV I could see sitting right in front of, but 2 headphone jacks, Sony always did that. And then the KV9400, the model number is there. Of course, the 9 stands for the 9-inch screen that's on here. I don't know about the 400, if that's a sequence or something, but Sony probably had a series of 9-inch TVs. Anyhow, all right, let's power this off and open it up. Opening up a Sony is easy as pie because they put little arrows next to every screw that you need to take off to actually remove the case. So if there's screws that don't have arrows next to them, at least on stuff of this age, then that is not necessary to remove for taking the case off. And right here, there's an arrow there, there's an arrow here, which is telling me that I have to get that screw down there, and there's one right here as well, so that screw needs to come out. This will hold this RF tuner block on. Nothing under there, okay. I think these knobs will probably have to come off. I think this silver part and the black part are probably all one. Oh, these are stuck on, like, they're really stuck. Okay, that one came off. This whole silver part does come off. The top part where the tuner is does stay. Let's move this stuff out of the way here. Oh, look what's happening inside. Looks pretty dusty. Pretty dusty. Go. There we go. All right, so the inside of the case. Oh, look at that. Got some stickers here. Move this TV a little over. So we have parts location. And it actually tells you what things are. RF, AGC, AGC, sub brightness, sub contrast. That's on the 3 board. Is that a 3? It's hard for me to read from. I'm trying to not block the camera. Color sync, automatic color control, ACC. The S board is the tuner. A board is the VIF, SIF, and chroma. M board is the channel preset band selector. That's that thing at the top that's definitely having a problem. C board is RGB out. Well, that's what just going to the CRT, I'd imagine. H-stack control, and it has all the various controls. There's the drives, there's the horizontal out, screen control, focus, horizontal center, vertical center, regulator output, horizontal frequency, so that's horizontal hold, horizontal size, looks like a fuse, pin cushion control, rectifier, vertical center, and another fuse. And then up here it's telling you how to remove the high voltage cables from the flyback transformer. I wasn't even aware that that was possible. I always thought those were just glued in. I guess on this TV, it's actually removable. Okay, and like, take a look at this. Look at the density. This is Sony for you right here. Like, I mean, TVs were not as simple back then as they are now. Like, well, now, I mean, even in the 2000s, by the end of the CRT era, things were so integrated, you'd have like one chip that did everything. And on TVs like this, you needed to have various boards to do all sorts of different things. So there's a lot of tuner related stuff here. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this is tuner, but up here it says channel select. So I need to try to get to that board on the top here to see if I can figure out what's going on. So out with the 70s towel. There's the flyback. It's very, very dusty. So this thing obviously did get a lot of use. If we turn this around, you can see the PCB, the main PCB, looks really good. Not seeing any issues. Look how clean that is too. So this TV, while it's dirty, hasn't been exposed to a lot of crap, corrosion to stuff. It's just dusty in here. So this thing was not stored out in a damp place like a garage or somewhere else. Over here is the sticker for the CRT here, Sony Trinitron 250AKB22. Looks like this top control thing here comes off with 4 screws. There's 2 on each side, or control thing. Plastic thing that holds that PCB with the tuner in it. So I'm gonna take this out and we're gonna see what's disintegrated in there. Hopefully it's just deoxit. Oh dear, dropped the screw in there. Okay, there it is. Yeah, hopefully I could do some deoxit, get that thing working properly. We shall see. All right, so I got this thing out, made in Japan there. I think this white thing here holds little light bulbs that are the actual channel selector lights that are showing up green, but they're probably just white light bulbs. So I'm thinking I should take these screws out, see what's going on. Now the buttons, they don't click. You'd expect that when you push one, maybe one would click down and the other one would pop up, like only one could be pushed down at a time. But that doesn't seem to be what's going on. But they also could be digital buttons, like whichever one you push, it just selects that one. I don't really see any logic here, but there's a lot of wires that run off to there. So I'm not sure, but there could be early surface mount chips. I mean, I don't think so, right? So let's just take out these screws right here, see what happens. Because I don't see, there's a couple screws holding the whole board in. There's 2 there and 3 on this white part here. Let's take these out. Oh, well, there we go. There we go. Ah, they are just buttons. They're like digital buttons here. So I'm assuming these are like just a keyboard matrix kind of thing going into some IC on the main TV here. Because when you push these, they definitely don't feel like they're clicky or anything. Like it's not clicking. So unless these have failed, I may have to power the TV up like this. I still can. I didn't actually disconnect anything. And we'll see if it works a little better. Ideally, you don't need more than one of these to work. We just need one to be reliable. And that's the one that would basically be tuned to channel 3. I think what's happened here, this is my hunch, is that inside of these, there was probably a little rubber membrane thing, like in a remote control, and that has perished, like it's gone. So all of these just have no more spring to them. And when the TV is put, on its bottom with these buttons facing up, it thinks that you're pushing multiple at a time. So I may have to check that. I think there's content. Oh, you know what? I can use my multimeter to check that. I might have to remove these switches and just leave one, or perhaps I'll just jumper one, or I don't even know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out what to do here. But I think these are all bad. Deoxit D5. I'm going to spray some I don't know, into all of these, I guess. Just a little bit. Hold this upright. Unfortunately, usually when these types of switches die, there is nothing you can do. Deoxit is not going to fix them. But, you know, it's possible, I guess. I don't know. All right, well, I think I'm going to power on the TV, and I'm just going to test to see if, like, shorting one of these together, I'll use a resistor, like a 10 ohm resistor or something. But if I short the contacts on here, that gets it to select the right channel and stuff like that. All right, so turn this on first. Okay, TV's on. So we can see here, this channel here is selected. Oh, wait a second. Oh, hold on a sec. Did the deoxit work? That one doesn't work. Well, deoxit certainly has helped. It is so touchy. Like just touching that one makes it change to that channel. It's almost like why I feel like I just need to cut these off, and that way I'll leave one in place, and that'll be the one that you use to actually get to channel 3, and the rest, you know, won't be there. So there won't be ever an issue with it sort of changing the channel. I have a feeling what happened when we turned the TV on the first time is multiple of these were held down simultaneously like that. See what it's freaking out right now? And I think that's the problem. So I need to remove these. I'm going to pull the power cord on the TV. And I think I can fold this over. Let's get these wires out of here. This is the little light bulb thingy. I think I can fold this over carefully, maybe. Like that. And then I can desolder the switches. So I'm going to just desolder them. I'm not going to cut them off. I'll just desolder them. That way there's no damage. Not to mention, I'll put them in a little baggie and keep them inside this TV. If anyone knows where I can get those switches, let me know. Maybe this TV could be revived with just some new switches. There we are, 12 bad switches desoldered. If anyone is curious, I just dropped on what these say on them. 8213K, I mean, that's probably like a date code, right? Although, yeah, 13th week. So that's not particularly helpful. Yep, those are them. All bad. So I'm going to plug the TV back in. There it is, powered up. And let's take a look at this. There it is. Channel 2 is lit up, and I mean, that's the only button that's there. So it's not going to change. So I just need to put this thing back together, and we should be good. While I am putting this back together, I will just clean the dust from between these buttons. Since while this plate's out, that's actually possible to do. Now, I know I've said this before on my videos, but if you're putting screws back into plastic, especially on old stuff like this, and this is a trick I learned from Fran Blanche on FranLab. If you haven't seen her channel, I recommend you look at that. But what she said to do, and I always do now, is you get the screw, you put it in the hole, and you turn it backwards until it clicks. Like that. And then you're now in the threads, in the correct threads. Now, sometimes you can be tricked by the click. You might have to click twice. If you start to turn and it's a bit stiffer than it should be, then go back and do it again. But basically, it ensures that this self-tapping screw is going back into the exact same threads that it was in the very first time when this thing was assembled. Otherwise, you never know. You might be creating new threads, which could easily break the standoff. I just cleaned out the dust out of these two pots here. I'm just gonna hit it with some deoxit in here. There's probably some special fader lube designed for mixing consoles. Probably works better than this, but this should do the trick. The controls on the side here, down here, these also need a little deoxit magic because they were very scratchy. There we go. I need a knob. I need a knob. With the deoxit in there, you turn it back and forth a whole bunch of times. And it was kind of very stiff to turn. Now it's much easier to turn because there's a lubricant in deoxit as well. That's what makes it last. It lasts a long time because of the lubricant, but you do have to move it back and forth. It is right here on the side of the monitor where there's some additional controls. I think it was labeled inside the back cover what those are. There are also stuff here on the back of the tuner. The majority of the tuner is on the other side of the board, but don't turn this or any of these other things. Definitely these have to do with the intermediate frequencies, the IF, and you don't want to touch those. In fact, don't turn anything unless you know absolutely what it does. If you start turning things randomly, you could throw things way out of alignment, and because a TV like this relies on the RF section to work, you don't want to touch anything that you don't know will adjust the thing you're looking for. So if you're trying to adjust the picture side to side, don't just turn things randomly, figure out which is the actual control for that first before you turn things. All right, the RF is reconnected. Let's turn this around carefully, and I'm gonna plug the power back in. There we are. 2 is lit up because of course that's the only button that works. Oh look, we already are partially tuned in. Awesome. All right, so I'll lift the lid and we'll tune this in better. All right, when I close this with a switch up, automatic frequency control comes on. There we go, and it just tunes it in, it locks it in perfectly. So even if I have those little knobs a little off, like here, like that, and close this, it locks on. There's only so much you can do though, so you wanna make sure you're as good as possible. All right, there we go. Now there's a little bit of interference here, and that has to do with the fact that that 300 ohm transformer I have on the back is not perfect for rejecting interference. And channel 3, there's gonna be some interference, so it's not ideal, but that is what it is. Something that would be helpful potentially is to replace this block here with an actual F connector and have a coax that goes down to the tuner, because the tuner's actual connection is a coax. So to connect directly into the tuner might help eliminate a little bit of the interference that we are seeing on there. But that looks great. The picture quality is great. It's really looking good. Excellent. So I'm gonna put the TV back together now. Well, the TV is back together and the controls on the side are working well. No more scratchiness, so deoxit absolutely did the trick. See, there's a detent for brightness and it's set in the middle and it looks perfect. I didn't even touch the screen control inside the TV. I'd say maybe the blue gun could be turned up a little bit. I could probably do it on the back of the TV through the cover, but you know, to be honest, it really looks fine. And when I tilt this over, the picture control isn't even halfway up right now. And I'd say that it's looking, there we go, the cable was stuck. It's looking really bright. It's looking really good. Good picture, really good uniformity, no weird colors or anything. In fact, I can do this on the pattern generator. So there is red, looking fantastic, super bright. Green looks great as well. And there's blue, looking fantastic, yeah. And the color bars. I mean, honestly, the only thing that's letting it down right now is the fact that the RF is a little noisy, and that has, I'm not blaming the TV again, I'm blaming the noise down here in the basement. And what all I need to do now is let's just switch the little numbers around so that channel 3, which is this one here, is down at the bottom instead of 2. I'll just put the 2 in the 3 position. There we go. Now 3's at the bottom. Slide this back in. There we go, 3. And in case anyone was wondering, if I turn the VCR off, there is sound, and it's loud and sounds good. So no problems with the sound at all. And we turn the VCR back on, and there it is, line 1. So yeah, I am really impressed with this little Sony. All I had to do is take out all these bad buttons, and now we can't change the channel, but who cares? We're stuck on 3, which is the only one that we ever use anyways. And the picture looks great. Just amazing. That is so Sony right there. I was wondering if I should take off this plastic here for cleaning, but I'm not sure how to get it off actually. Sometimes there's a little notch somewhere. Oh, I think it's down there. Okay, so in case you are wanting to get one of these plastic covers off on this particular Sony, underneath the bezel here, there's a little hole in this silver part, and I think that pushes on the clip of this plastic. So I will pop that off. I was about to end the video. Let me pop that off. I'll use this spudger thing here. I think that should do the trick. Push this over the edge of the table. And we stick this in there. And I think, yeah, it's definitely doing it. There we go. Pop the corner off. You do the one on the other side here. There we go. And I'm just going to make sure it doesn't fall. It's probably a good idea for me to clean under there. There it is. Oh yeah, it's actually quite a bit brighter without this on there. So there's a little bit of tinting going on. But I'm going to use this cloth and a little Windex, and I'll just clean the old CRT here just to get any of the black soot that might be on there. Oh, you know what? It really wasn't that dirty. This TV definitely has a lot of use because you can see a lot of the soot that you get on the inside from use, just from the high voltage. It really attracts dust. But it didn't seem to attract a lot of dust underneath this plastic cover. Guess it's pretty well sealed. There's definitely some scuffs on here though. And there it is. So yeah, plastic polish would clean that right up. And to get this back on, you just hook the top back on and you push the bottom on. There it is. It's back on. But anyways, yes, there we are. The Sony KV-9400 from 1982 still works perfectly, other than these stupid little switches. But I mean, look at that. The analog TV part, it's perfect, bright, crisp, and nice. If only it had composite input. If it only had that, that would make this super great for retro gaming. But yeah, unfortunately, it's probably a live chassis, hard to do. Anyways, yeah, so anyhow, there we go. This video was way longer than I anticipated. I thought I was gonna be plug it in, turn it on, wow, look at that, cool, and that would be it, but I did a little bit more than that. So if you like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, subscribe to this second channel would really help me out. Of course, I wanna thank my patrons, and if you wanna become a patron yourself, check the description for a link. Patrons get early access to videos, stuff like that. So check out my main channel if you haven't been watching that. A lot more better videos that are less ridiculous than I don't talk as much and ramble as much. And yes, that is gonna be it. Put your comments down in the comment section below. Stay healthy, stay safe. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.